No one has ever told me this. Why? The best version of myself, punch it in the face.
Think we have cracked the code.
That's why my goals never work. What was I smoking this time last year? Let me have some of that now. Am I filming this at 10 to 11 on a Thursday evening? Yes, I am. Is my room a complete mess? Yes, it is. Do I feel a little bit hyper? Also, very much yes. Is this zoomed in? I feel like my head looks really big. No. Maybe my head is just big. The glamour. It is the beginning of a new year, and what did I want to talk about? It's 2024. I feel like at the beginning of January, for the last few days, I have just been having this build up of anxiety because I'm like, oh my god, I've not set any goals for 2024. I've not reflected on 2023. It's like, I've got to do this. I've got to start these new habits. I've got to start doing this. And it's like, whoa, put the crack pipe down. Let's just chill out for a bit. Let's wind it back in and remember that this is not a race. I always feel like there's so much pressure at the beginning of the month to just do all of these things and set all these habits and start doing new shit. I just want to jump in there and say, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. And I'm gonna actually set a rule for January that me and you, we can take it as chill as we like. It is our lives. And yes, you can theoretically change your life at any point in the year. Is this on the wonk? I feel like it's wonky. Hello? Is that a bit better? No. I know theoretically you can change your life at any point in the year, but for me, personally, I find January 1st, the beginning months is so energetic for me. I just feel like it's a new beginning, it's a new start. And it's the only time in the year that I ever truly feel that. But currently on the 4th of January, so for the last 4 days, I've just been feeling a lot of panic, a lot of stress about, oh my god, I don't feel that this year because I've not done any reflecting, I've not done any goal setting or intention setting or whatever. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm so far behind in life already. And it's like, whoa, hang on, chill. We're going to take a chill bit right now. Should I clear up that mess? No, I shouldn't. So we're just going to leave it at that. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that and normalise the fact that we don't have to set everything within the first couple of days of January. Let's just make it a rule that we can set it throughout January. And I'm just gonna literally have this first week. So I don't feel rushed, so I don't feel this pressure. It's going to be okay. Me and you, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna do just fine. But what I really want to do every single year, I do a reflection process on the past year. I do that in Notion. I think I downloaded a little Notion template. And this is gonna sound like the cheesiest thing that will ever probably come out of my mouth. It probably won't. There'll probably be worse things in the future. And I'm gonna stop rambling. I heard this on the Mel Robbins podcast. She said that you can't know. What did she say? She said, you can't look where you're going if you don't know where you are. So imagine you're in the middle of nowhere. You can't look for a destination if you don't know where you are yet. You've got to find yourself, your space, get some clarification on where you are, and then you'll be able to goal set. So I feel like really reflecting on the past year just helps me kind of concrete me in the ground. That doesn't sound right, but some other better metaphor than that will help me to kind of sit down and reflect on what happened last year. I have a little group of questions that I ask myself every single year. So the first questions are the 3 favourite parts of 2023. Now that's going to take some thinking. Second question, what am I most proud of? What challenged me the most? When did I feel most scared? What did I learn about myself in 2023? And actually, I already know the answer to that because it was a very recent discovery. And maybe I'll talk a little bit about that now. Should we talk about it now? Sure. I feel like I wasn't meant to experience all of the stereotypical societal norms I didn't have growing up, like going to uni or having a group of girlfriends around me or going on holiday with women, females, people, I don't know, not having that group and feeling so isolated from everyone else. I understand now that I was meant to go through that because it has meant now I am able to create this channel, create my Instagram account and help other people feel less alone in that feeling. And oh my god, that makes me want to cry. I can't tell you how much that has fulfilled me. And this is really interesting, actually tying it into the whole 2023 reflection theme. My word for 2023 was fulfillment. Did that word come true last year? No, it didn't. I didn't feel fulfilled at all. Not really in any part of my life until the last couple of months of the year, and that is purely because I started sharing more personal voiceover reels on Instagram, and the way that has connected with so many people, and I have had an influx of messages on Instagram of people telling me they have felt less alone because I have shared that reel, because I shared my vulnerability with them, and that it's helped them. And they thought that they were the only ones, but they're not. There are people out there who feel the same, and I can't tell you how much that means to me. As a lot of you know, my motto is to help people feel a little less alone and a little more connected. And finally, after years of trying, in the last couple of months, that quote has started to come true. It's started to come to light, whatever the word is for that. And I feel so fulfilled by that, helping people. I'm gonna cry. I don't want to cry. The reel that I made about living at home with my parents still at the age of 29, that helped so many people. Or even the reel about not having a friendship group, not having your girls, that helped so many people, and it just makes my heart happy. That was the only area in my life that I felt fulfilled. And if I can carry that into 2024, oh, I will be like on top of the world. I probably won't be, because that's like Mount Everest and I'm not going up there, but I will feel so proud and feel so fulfilled if I can continue that in 2024, which I'm hoping I can. Who knows? It might all change, you know? People might just go, oh no, I'm bored of her now. Wouldn't be surprised, to be fair. The next question is, describe one favourite moment. That's going to be a really tricky one for me. I think it was actually on Boxing Day with my brother and my sister-in-law came round. They were going around the table asking what was your highlight of the year. And I was like, I don't know, like, it wasn't a great year last year. I'd say maybe April, definitely May onwards. I was really struggling. I always feel that's the case. I feel like the beginning of the year, January, February, March, I'm on hustle mode. I'm on like productivity. I'm like focused. I'm like, yeah, get the bag, get the life, get the best version of myself. Punch it in the face. Probably not in those months, but I then punch it in the face when it comes to May. What's the next one after May? June. I then punch the best version of myself in the face and she gets knocked down for like the rest of the year. That's how my years usually go. That's the pattern that I've been in. Although I do find I have the opposite of sad. Seasonal affective depression like usually affects people in the winter months when it's cold and dark outside. I come alive in those months. I'm the opposite way round. Like during the summer months, I dip, I decline. And then when it comes to like winter and autumn has my heart. I'm just like doing the thing, although it kind of really didn't come to fruition this year. But anyway, long story short, if you could change one thing about 2022, what would it be and why? One thing. Can't it be many things? I don't know, maybe not. And the last question is, who are the 5 most meaningful people to your year? Interesting. But there's more. Mel Robbins dropped a 6-question reflection workbook type thing. I will leave that link below. Highly recommend if you want something that's already laid out for you and you can just type the answers in. But I'll quickly run through those 6 questions because I think they're kind of very similar to the first one. But in this one, like the first question is, what were the highlights from this year? What were the hardest aspects of this past year? Where to begin? And then it goes on to say in the area of health and wellness, career, money or school, relationships, love and friendship, in the area of fun and happiness, and in the areas of purpose, spirituality. What? Purpose, spirituality. Why have I forgotten how to say spirituality? Don't know. I don't have any spirituality, so purpose, spirituality and meaning. What am I saying? We're going to move on to question 3. What did you learn about yourself over the past year? Some of these questions are similar to the ones that I normally go through, but instead there's areas to focus on the health and wellness in regards to career, money or school, etc. What are the things you are going to stop doing in the next year of your life? We're going to stop being on our phones first thing in the morning. We're going to stop being on our phones right before bed. I saw a reel today that between the hours of 10 p.m. and 4 a.m, if you get any light in your eyes, like I am right now, I've got a big light shining, got a screen light here, but it is scientifically proven that if you look at light between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m, you are mentally going to feel worse the next day. Decreases your dopamine levels. Like, it's just wild that is a fact, and that is something that I really want to get good at. And this, oh my god, I am so excited. I am so excited. I have found the ultimate hack for this, and I will explain that in the next video. I'm so excited to share this with you. I might cry at the thought of this. Wild. That is definitely one thing that I want to stop doing this year, is really being on my phone so much. It's difficult, isn't it? Because I am a content creator, because I work primarily from my phone, it's difficult to set that boundary. But I have found the hack of a lifetime, and it is saving my life, and it is saving my mental health, and it's going to save yours as well, and I'm so excited to share it with you. More on that in the next video. Oh, fortune telling. No, that's not the word. Deja vu. Nope. The one where you look ahead. That is fortune telling. Or is that deja vu? Question number 5. What are the things that you will continue doing in the next year of your life? Meditation, journaling. I got a new journal for Christmas and I am loving it. It's a 6-minute journal. It is like my bread and butter. What do you want to start doing? Oh, my light has decided to die. Now you really can see the mess in the background. You still love me, right? Question 6 is, what are the things that you will start doing? I'm sick of rotting away in my room. I'm sick of feeling so much anxiety about going outside, and I definitely do want to talk about this because it is a real big issue for me. I won't go into it in this video because it will be far too long, but it's something that I really want to explore in the coming videos. Anyway, I would love to start exercising, and I was thinking about this morning. I'm like, I'm not an exercise girly. I have no motivation to exercise. I don't like doing it. I don't like getting hot. I don't like getting sweaty. I tried, what are they called? They're not called PRs. PT. I tried a PT last year and I lasted 4 days. Maybe it was 5. Didn't even last a week. I couldn't do it. I felt so restricted in having a PT. I had to stop. I had to quit. Does that make me a bad person? Does that make me incapable of exercise? Maybe. No, I'm kidding. My brain works very differently to other people. And that's okay. Am I going to do a word for 2024? Last year was fulfillment. Fulfillment was actually such a big word if you think about it. Like, from where I was, I think this is the problem. I think I dream too big. But this is the thing. People always tell you to dream big. And so I do. I write down, oh my god, should we find my goals from 2023? That's embarrassing. Upload 1 video a week to YouTube. I did try for the first 3 months. I did pretty well. And then I didn't. Create consistent content. Create fulfilling content. Become monetized on YouTube. I did. And I kind of fancy making how much YouTube paid me in the first month of being monetized with X amount of subscribers. I don't know how many I had at the time, but would anyone be interested in that? Because I love watching those videos. I don't know if anyone would be interested, but maybe we can. Maybe we can think about that one. Hit 5k subscribers. No, we're not there yet. Be intentional. Be intentional with my Evidently shop. Create designs that align with my YouTube videos. Oh, I did kind of do that, I guess, in the beginning. It's a starting point. There is freedom in letting go. That hoodie that I created, love that. I did do that, to be fair. But I did it twice. We're still gonna count it. Post on Instagram 3 times a week. Didn't do that, no. Post on stories daily. No. Create a warm, loving and compassionate community. I feel like I'm finding my people on Instagram and I love that. This one is hilarious. Become financially independent. Nope. Earn consistent income from Etsy and YouTube. Nope. Feel fulfilled with my bank account. That's a funny one. What was I smoking this time last year? Let me have some of that now. Donate money to a good cause. No, because I didn't have the money to donate. Save enough money to live in a rented new build on my own. Earn X amount of money. Did not do either of those. Sorry, I thought I was out of focus, but I don't think I am. I think it's just my eyes. Maybe I need to put eye test on my 2024 goals list. See a psychologist for an ADHD assessment. No, didn't do that because I didn't have the money for it. But I will tell you, the one thing that I definitely did do in the beginning, like I said, in January to March, I wanted to go on walks at least 3 times a week, and I did do that for a while. I got good at that, considering that now I really struggle with going outside. I did do that, and I'm like, wow, I did that. The one thing that I did actually big tick off my 2023 goals list is public speaking. I did 2 speeches last year. One at a charity music event and another at my brother's wedding. I was the best man and I did a speech and I was like, wow, I did that. I actually did that. I did something. So that is a big tick off that list. And I don't think I've ever been able to actually tick off a goal that I'd set the previous year. I mean, I can't think of any from the top of my head, but this is a big moment. I wanted to make this video, 1, to reassure you. Are you focusing? Excuse me, ma'am? No. There we go. Basically, I just really wanted to make this video to, one, reassure you that it's okay to not have everything figured out, to not have complete clarification in the beginning of the new year. I guess supposedly you're meant to do this last year, but I didn't. I feel like we can take January to really kind of collect ourselves and figure out a little plan for the year. And I think what I figured out with like looking through my goals for last year is that I put so much pressure on myself, one, but two, I also make really big goals that maybe they're not achievable for me. I'd love it to be true, but considering that I tend to take a lot longer than usual people to get things done, it's very frustrating. But if that is the case for me, and it is the case for me, and there's nothing I can do about it, and I've tried to change that a million times. Like today, I was meant to do a TikTok thing in like an hour, and it took me about 3 hours to do. Why is my brain like that? I don't know. Maybe it's potentially ADHD. That is on my list for 2024, get an assessment, because I need to know. I need to know if this is, or if I'm just crazy. Anyway. Where was I going with that? What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. That is like, if that's not ADHD, I don't know what it is. Maybe I've just got early dementia or something, because that is gone from my brain. Oh, that was it, making smaller goals. Because it takes me longer to do stuff. So if I actually simplify it and not put so much on myself, not do so much on this category of being like, oh, I didn't record. The microphone was really shit for that last bit. The audio should sound better now. I think I fixed it. Anyway, moving on. What was I saying? Because it takes me longer to do stuff, I feel like I need to accept that is the case for me, and therefore align my goals with myself rather than trying to pile on like a load of stuff, like personal, business goals, YouTube goals, skills, learning goals, like all of the fitness and health goals. Like, just simplify it, man. Just simplify it so it's not so overwhelming, so it's not so big, so that this time next year when I'm looking at the goals, I'm like, oh well, yeah, I didn't do that. Yeah, I did not do that. So simplify it and maybe make it more attainable, more manageable. That's what I need to do. That's why my goals never work, because it's too big for me, and because I can't attain that, because my brain doesn't work fast. It can't compute things fast, or whatever the reason is. Yeah, I just really wanted to share that in case that helps someone else out there with them feeling like, well, what's the point in setting goals this year if it's never going to happen? And so how about we just make it smaller? How about we make it more attainable? How about we make it a couple of goals? This whole time, for all of these years that I have been setting goals, no one has ever told me this. Why? Here's the thing. I just said that people always told me to dream big. That's what dreams are meant for, Kate. You're meant to dream big. It's the goals that aren't meant to be big. They're meant to be small, they're meant to be attainable, they're meant to be manageable. Why hasn't no one told me this before? So, dreams are something like, oh yeah, I want to become an author. That is my dream. If I put that as a goal this year, that would be probably insane for me to be like, oh yeah, this year I want to become an author. Every year I make a list in sections, like I just did with my goals list for 2023. There was one for my Etsy shop, there was one for social media with YouTube and Instagram, there was one for my finance goals. There was like different goals. Stop. Make them small, make them attainable, make them manageable. It really is as simple as that. This year I'm making my goals totally different. For 2024 I'm gonna have 3. So far I've got 2. We're already halfway there. Hair flick. Also, how will I know that I've succeeded my goal? Because if I think back to my 2023 goals, for example, one of them was like post 3 times on Instagram every week. That was a goal. Okay. How will I know that I've succeeded that goal? Is it once I've done it once? Is it doing it twice? Is it doing it for the whole entire year? How will I know that I have succeeded that goal? And that is why when I look at my goals for last year, I was like, public speaking, I did that. That's a big tick off my list, because that is something that I completed and has come to a conclusion. But for things like, yeah, I want to read 10 pages of my book every single day, for example. How will you know when you've succeeded that? I heard that it's easier if you set a goal to lose 2 to 4 pounds rather than losing 3 pounds. 3 pounds is a very specific number, but when you say 2 to 4, you're more likely to complete that goal. I guess because the goalposts are wider. So I have taken time to think about this, and I've decided that I am going to set between 1 to 3 goals this year. Considering last year I had goals upon goals upon goals, but this year I'm going to have 1 to 3 goals. My first goal is to see sunlight 2 to 5 times a week through a morning walk. And I know I can do it because I did it this time last year, so evidently I can. If you know, you know. How will I know when I've succeeded? When it becomes a natural part of my routine. Just like making a bed. And that is such like an ingrained habit that I have in me. Every morning when I get up, I make my bed straight away. So when it becomes like that, then I know I've succeeded. My second goal for 2024 is book an ADHD assessment. How will I know when I've succeeded? When I have the results. That's how I will know. So at the moment, I've got those 2 goals and I'm quite happy with those. I think both of those will have a big impact on my life, on my mental health, on my well-being, which will then span out over the rest of my life. Fingers crossed. Make them small and ask the question of how will I know when I've succeeded? So you can really actually properly tick it off your list this time next year. I don't know if anyone watched that video on the self-acceptance video I did back in August. The key theme of that video is, and that's okay. And that's okay if you didn't reach your goal. And that's okay if you didn't read a book even though you wanted to read a book this month. Or you wanted to meditate. And that's okay. And I think I have just found my word for 2024. Acceptance. I want to be more accepting of where I am in life. I want to be more accepting of the things that I don't do right or I don't do. Even like the small things. If I wake up at like 8 p.m. and I was hoping to wake up at 6, and that's okay. I'm in a very privileged position being self-employed that I can work when I want for how long I want. So if I wake up at 8, maybe that means I just work a little bit later. You know, providing it's not, you know, this late in the evening. You're not getting your screen light and stuff, so we'll just skip past that for now. Just being accepting that it's okay. Okay, I woke up at 8. But also, it's that balance, isn't it, of being like, okay, and that's okay, but also don't get stuck in this routine because that's not going to help you in the long run. So there needs to be like a balance, a boundary somewhere of being like, and that's okay, but also don't go too far to the edge, you know? I want to be more accepting of myself, of what I look like, of my skin, of my body, of the clothes I wear, of, you know, my YouTube channel. I feel like this year I put so much pressure on myself to create content every single week, and that's okay if I don't post every week, and that's okay. The world will not end. Welcome to my boudoir. Is that a thing people say? I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that. It is a couple of days later. What day are we on? I don't know times. That doesn't tell me anything. A couple of days later, and now I feel ready to reflect on 2023 and plan for 2024. I made some desktop wallpapers. You know your wallpaper on your desktop, you can change it. And I've made some really cute ones, and I've put it up on my Etsy shop. I've tried to make it as cheap as possible. If anyone is interested, I'll leave a link in the description. And there's even one that's customizable. You can change fonts and quotes and colours and yeah. But anyway, let's go reflect. I have just finished the reflection questions for 2023, and underneath that there are 7 questions for 2024 growth. We love to see it. Let me take these off so I can actually hear myself talk. I don't want to be shouting. Hello! I don't want to be a Dom Jolly. Anyway, so yeah, there's 2024 growth section. So some of the questions are, how do you want to feel in 2024? What does this year mean to you? What are you looking forward to? What are you worried about? What do you want to learn more about or develop? What are you committed to in 2024? And finally, what does this day next year look like? Hello? Do I need a new camera this year? That's the question. I think it's the year of growth. I think I am starting to grow in certain aspects of my life, like social media has then helped to grow my YouTube channel, which has then helped to grow my Etsy shop, and it just feels like my erratic behaviour and like building up businesses and stuff has actually starting to come to a point where I can now nurture each business, and hopefully this is the year that they really start to grow. You know what I'm saying? Money has always been on my goals list, and this year I'm not going to set a specific number to earn. I'm just going to let it be. Whatever happens, happens. Money has been on my list for a while because I know that feeling of lack so well. What are you worried about? How long have you got? What are you looking forward to? I'm looking forward to nurturing my Instagram. Now I know what I enjoy creating and what other people like watching on Instagram. I'm really looking forward to building more on that and really creating a community, and I love connecting with you guys so much because I feel like you're my kind of people, you know? What are you committed to in 2024? To empowering you guys, into accepting myself, into growing, like actual proper growth this year. So yeah, there's a couple of things that are on the 2024 goals, growth thingy majiggy wiggy. And I think the key here is to really make small goals that will make a big impact. Not 10 goals in each section, in each category of your life, like health and fitness or business or personal or finance. Instead of having like 10 goals for each section, let's just make it small and let's find small things that will have a big impact. Tiny changes, remarkable results. And I think that really is the key, guys. I think we have cracked the code. So maybe you are someone who can make goals in each category and focus and move towards it. That's great if that's you. Like, I'm rooting for you if that's you. That's amazing. I wish I could do that, but I know I can't from years of experience. I think the way to go about this, if you're someone like me who sits here every year, same time this next year, being like, well, I didn't do that, I didn't do that, I didn't do that. I'm gonna burp. Nope, I'm gonna hiccup. I didn't do either. I malfunctioned. So the small things that will have a big impact on your life. For example, for me last year, the first 3 months of the year, I really made an effort to go outside in the mornings for a walk and see sunlight. Now, if you know the benefits of sunlight. It's incredibly important to get sunlight in your eyes first thing in the morning. If you do it correctly, obviously. Don't stare at the sun and be like, yes, changed my life. So that's a small little change. That wasn't like a big goal of do this big thing by next year or earn a certain amount by next year. This is quite, in retrospect, a small goal of just going outside in the morning for a walk and seeing sunlight. And I made sure to go outside before I looked at any kind of screen, whether that was my laptop or my phone screen. Don't get me wrong, I didn't do it every day, but I did start integrating it into my life, and it helped me so much. Granted, I did that from January to March, and then I fell off the bandwagon in April because life and mental health went flop. But that's just an example of a small habit that will snowball other areas of your life. And there's so much research backed behind this sunlight thing. This is like based in neuroscience, based in the research, based in peer-reviewed studies, whatever the scientists are saying nowadays. That's just an example really of how doing something small like that every morning can have a big impact on your life overall. So I'm thinking we do small things. I guess another example of this would be like staying off your phone until after breakfast. Like, that habit is so ingrained in me, and I've been doing it for a couple of years now, probably since 2021 maybe. But the way that has changed how I feel about the day, how mentally I feel, and the clarity I have, would 100% recommend putting that as a goal this year. If that's something that you struggle to do, stay off your phone until after breakfast, until after your sunlight, until after your morning walk. So I think that is what we need to do for all of you people who struggle with keeping goals. Just make maybe five smaller goals like that that will have a roll-on effect and will turn into a big impact on your life. I think when I was planning goals last year, like, I put such big things on my goal list. From where I was at that point in my life, that's a huge leap to go from, like, for example, my earnings, barely earning anything, to, oh, being over here. Like, sometimes you see that happen to people on the internet where they go from nothing and then they start earning thousands and thousands of pounds a month, and it's like amazing. But not for me, apparently. Yet. We love the word yet. Growth mindset, everyone. And I feel like sometimes I just need to, instead of making this big jump, I've got to kind of just take it. Maybe I don't make that much. Maybe this year I make this much. If I make more, great. But you know, I think it's just really important to make it attainable. But anyway, I hope this has helped someone out there, and I hope it's helped take the pressure off this first couple of weeks in January. Let's just take it easy, take it at our own pace, and maybe if you're like me, make the goals smaller to have a big impact. How about that? And if you've made it to the end of this video, let's drop an emoji of a hat in the comments below. Let's see who's really watched to the end. I am rooting rooting for you in 2024. I believe in you. We've got this. We can do this. I will be here every step of the way to cheer you on and to support you because I believe in you. And I really want to say a massive thank you to anyone who has supported me over the last year. It means so much to me. So I appreciate you and I'm sending you so much love. And of course, I will see you in the next one.